hurry up. I feel like we gonna go live. We gonna go live. I'm dying trying to make it.
We are now live. Hello, everybody. Welcome to Live You Nonprofit. We are a nonprofit organization, and we are here to help women struggling with prioritizing themselves first, practice self-care every day. That's what we're here to do. And so my name is CiaraWimby, and I am the CEO and founder of LIV You Nonprofit, and I am also a physical wellness self-care coach.
My name is Cicely Beckham. Boom, boom, boom. Always animated, duh. But I am the mental wellness coach.
Woo, woo.
Good morning. I am Stephany, and I am the spiritual wellness coach.
Ooh, spiritual wellness. Well, hello, everybody. Thank you all for joining us live and on the replay. So today we are talking about making history along your journey. So this is the month of March, which part of March is to focus on women in history, right? So we always hear about different celebrities and how they're making history in the world, or you look up people. First people that's coming to my mind right now is Venus and Serena Williams in tennis. I don't know why that's popping in my mind, but they're the first.
They make history.
Because they make history. So hello, Auntie. So I just they're in my mind. And what other women do you all think of when you think about women making history?
My namesake, Cicely Tyson.
Like Tyson. Cicely
always Tyson. The first one that pops up in my head.
Well, it should be. How about you, Stephany? Who pops up in your mind when you're thinking about women making history?
Oprah.
Oprah.
I know that's so maybe cliche, but Oprah is from Mississippi, which I happen to be from. So, So Oprah, she has touched so many lives, so many people on a global scale. So she didn't play a sport. She didn't get involved in politics that we know of, oh, I love you, girl. But she did make a lot of changes, and she did help a lot of people further their career and see their dreams, and just, yeah. So Oprah comes to mind for me.
That she did. She still is doing these things.
Right. Got a book club now.
Right. I was looking at a video on, I think it was Hulu, of her interview with Lee Daniels and Audra. I don't remember her last name, but for the Billie Holiday movie that just got released. So
I watched it last night too.
It's clearly still relevant. So Billie Holiday, a woman making history, right? And I am a huge Billie Holiday fan. I was introduced to her when I was about 12 or 13 years old with the movie Lady Sings the Blues. So I have not seen this new movie at this moment in time, but I used to watch Lady Sings the Blues over and over and over. And my mother would ask me, is there something you need to tell me? I'm like, well, what do you mean? She was like, why are you so attached to this movie? Are you an addict and I don't know about it? I'm like, what's going on? Of course, I couldn't have been anything without my mother knowing, because she was all in the business. But I don't know. I had this attachment for her. But yeah, I still haven't watched the movie yet. So who else comes to your mind when you think of women making history? And it don't have to be somebody famous, like other women that you're thinking about, that women making history.
Michelle Obama always, and like I said, it doesn't have, she's huge, so like, but she is dope, and you got to give her flowers while she's here. She's doing major things. She's like a silent killer too, because like she's not flamboyant. It's what I said. I'm gonna do what I do. I'm not gonna, you know, just it's in her aura. It's just her aura is everything, and it demands respect, attention, and everything else that comes with her. So yeah, she does it for me.
Okay. Anybody else for you, Stephany?
So I think of my grandma. I know that may be, and nobody knows my grandmother. I get it, but my grandmother, Dorothy Young, I think of her because the different steps that I've taken in my life. I praise her, and a lot of people ask me, where does your strength come from? It comes from her, my grandmother. My grandmother instills a lot of strength in me. So before there could be any Oprahs or Michelle Obamas, they have mothers. So it's those mothers that's behind them, that's pushing them and supporting them to be all that they can be. I look at those women who are very influential and who has made history, because without those women, would there be a Michelle Obama? Would there be a Kamala Harris? Would there be, or Kamala Harris, excuse me, would there be any other woman in history that's really made a mark, that's famous or non-famous, and has those small profits? So shouts out to all the grandmas out there.
Yes, all the mamas, because listen, Valerie, Becca,
yes.
Coleman, all the names.
Yeah,
you.
I think about my mom as a person that has been a history maker. So in her family, she is the oldest sibling, and my mother was the first one to go to college. And when my mom passed away, I asked various people if they could write down a memory that they had of my mom. And what I learned was, not just for my mother's siblings was she somebody who set the stage and the tone of an educational path to college and doing well in school and things like that, but for her first cousins as well. A couple of them wrote and let me know that they knew that they could go to college because they saw their cousin be able to do it. And I was like, man, look at my mama making, you know, being a trailblazer in her family. And then not only that, she left. She was from Memphis and she left and she went to Chicago. So I think a friend of mine, Al, shouts out Al, if you ever watch this, that he had told me, and he's from Chicago, but he lives in California. And he was telling me only a certain amount of percentage of people ever move from where they are from. And well, I saw my mom. I knew my mom wasn't from Chicago. So how did I know that I could move somewhere and make it? Well, that was why. So like, well, if my mama did it, I could do it too. So, you know, our grandmothers, our mothers, the people in our family, they become our history makers for us because they become the first people we see that can do something. My mom told me she knew that she could raise one kid because she saw her mama raise 6. So that her mother was, you know, making history for her, showing her that you can raise at least one minimum.
Minimum.
My mother said she wanted 6, but after child labor, she decided that one was enough.
Right.
You can have friends. You can have friends.
Yes.
No, like I definitely got to get a shot. Like my mama is like my shero. Talking about history. Listen, I've never understood pure love until I had a child. Right. So once I had a child and saw the things that it took to see them, my mama, like to this day, look, to this day, she still come through like mama bear. Like she is the reason why I jump off the cliff with and just know I'm a soar, because she instills so many things in me and just continuously the way she prayed and has prayed over my life and then helped guide me through that path as the prayers came into fruition and was like, duck, jump, move. Don't do that. Don't worry. I'll hold your hand. Come do it. They said, move, go. Without question. We packing up house. Like, listen, my mother is, and if you watching, hey, bad girl, don't cry.
I was about to say, she in the building. She said, hey,
I know she crying.
She in the building.
Don't be crying. But yeah, like she is it, you know, Tahjysmom does it for me. She is my everyday hero. I ascribe to be like her every day. She'd be like, but you my hero. You doing things. But your prayers got me to where I am. It was her who you know, I get emotional when it comes. Listen, when it comes to my mama, I turn into a mama bear. Like, oh, what? I wake up and choose violence when it comes to my mama. Oh,
right. I'm not a violent person, but I would have been. You know how y'all say that people will say like, whatever, orange suits or whatever. I wear orange suit for mine. I think I've heard people say that one. Like I would have done that for my mom because I know my mother would have done that for me, and there's no way.
For Wakanda, without question. Without question. No, don't even have to blink twice before she with it. So yeah, shouts
no problems moving mountains. None.
Without question. She don't even ask me what happened. We'll talk about that on the road.
Right. After we've gotten done taking care of the business. Exactly.
Listen, if my mama says okay, I flip tables in this thing. I don't care if my mama got my back. I don't care what's happening. I'm with it.
My favorite thing to say because my mama said, but my mama said,
word is long.
My
word is long.
And mama's word is everything. It's like you said, it's law. So I credit my grandmother because I've gotten through a lot of the obstacles I've had to face just with her strength in her teachings and her soul. And I would say I want to aspire to be like her, but she would always tell me, be better than me. And so I'm inspiring to be better than, but I'm instilling and keeping a hold of my spiritual foundations because she's a very religious person, and not that she's a huge Bible thumper, but she has an unquavering, I hope I'm saying the word right.
Unwavering.
Faith. There you go. Unwavering faith is just, there's no breaking that. There's no breaking her. Her spirit you can't break it. And so that's what I aspire to be. I want my spirit to be so strong that it doesn't break. And life will test you because it has to come back in and be like, hey, knock, knock, knock. You said, remember you said that you wasn't about that life? Well, guess what? Here the life go. Come through, come get this work. That's what it say, right?
That's what it say.
That's what the spirit say, come get this work. And you be like, but my mama said I can't come out the house. But you finna come out anyway.
Well, I'm coming in.
I don't care what your mama said.
Right, you finna come out anyway. So that's how life gonna test you. So I wanted my spirit to be that strong. And I have to say that I'm grateful. I've came close, but some had to wake up and be like, that's not what we do. Come on back through. You good. Keep it going. Keep pushing. So yeah, shouts out all the grandmas, all the mamas back there that's making these influential women in the world prominent and known to others, because we see y'all. We coming. We thank you for that light. We see it.
Yes, girl, listen, and the fact that they renew it. They like, she remind me, you gotta go to the well daily. But sometimes when I make it halfway there, she come with the pills. Here, I brought it for you. I met you.
Yeah.
I saw that you were struggling. I came with it. Girl,
I knew you forgot it. I'd be like, I don't know how you knew it.
Listen.
So where are you all in your journey making some history so that there's somebody that's saying, oh my God, Cicely did blah, 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 blah. Stephany, blah, 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 blah.
In so many areas, of course, everybody know I'm in school. Clearly I'm a lifelong learner. Listen, school is my profession. It's not a secret, right? I do it very well. The same way people get up and go to work every day. When I be like, how you do that? I'm like, how you get up and go to work every day? This is my job, right? So, but the lives that I get to impact and the paths that I get to cross, and I represent, like, or I see that I get to represent. Sometimes people look at me, when they first look at me, they just be like, oh my God, she's just this young girl. She cool as ever. But then when them bombs drop, they be like, hold on, so I've got to recognize that the God in me, right? People get to experience God through me, through my gifts that he's used. So as I continue to study and show myself approved for my journey, God just keeps on aligning me with people that I get to walk with. So, and I tell my clients every day, like, you might not even remember my name, but remember this. And so I'll have a lot of, and I tell people I'll live for those remember when moments, right? Not I wish I would have. And so many, I know I've impacted so many people to have those thoughts. I remember when I spoke to that lady, I can't remember her name. She was funny. She was cool as ever, little light skinned chick, right? with the crazy hair, because my hair is always changing. But I end up running into some of my old people, and they like, listen, you have made such impact on my life. And I'm like, really, did I? I was just doing my job. People, when we worked at the Y, met my father. And he was like, what you do over there? Because they're talking good about you. I was like, really? So when they meet other people that know me and still speak positively, I mean, like, when they talk about your names will be mentioned in rooms that you would have never stepped foot in. It's happening. And so, because it's for the same for all of us on here, like when we're in positions to promote other women, empowers, I'm like, hey, well, my homegirl could do this. My homegirl could do that. Like, I'm mentioning names to make these collaborations happen. And so I see the history being made. And for myself, I'm starting to document it because I want to be able, I like the check marks, right? These are all small victories until we get to that big one. So I want to be able to document it because everybody think it's an overnight sensation, right? Where you just come from? Nobody sees that small work and what it takes, right? Because it's small work, and then people, and you sometimes even yourself be like, oh, it was just a little something. They're like, no, but it was huge because I can't do that.
Because somebody else isn't willing to do that.
Exactly.
Right.
So it's those things that I'm working on and counting on and documenting to make sure I create her story,
I especially like the documenting the small victories and even the losses. So it makes me think about, for instance, the time that we were presented with an opportunity for $1 million grant, right? And we went through all these different hoops and channels that was asked of us. And actually we were learning a lot too, because they were really giving us a lot of information, and the process started seeming like it wasn't something that was going to be fruitful, and then it was starting to feel like it wasn't something that was legitimate. But ultimately we still learned a lot during the process, and when the opportunity even was presented to me, I was like, Cicely, look, this opportunity came about, and this was before Stephany came on board with us, but it was like, Cicely, I got this opportunity and I want you to be a part of it. And that was because we had worked together, and I knew her work ethic and what she could do, and she had already been in nonprofit, and we had worked a couple of nonprofit jobs together. So I was very confident in her being a part of it. And so that's that, you're bringing other people that you feel good about so that you all now can make history together. It doesn't always have to be, making a solo history. You can make history as a team.
Groves. Yes. I
Mhm.
want to just quickly make sure we still check in the Facebook comments. So if it is, so they can get their points in when we talking.
Yeah. So there was just like a lot of haze, and shout out to your mother, Cicely. That was from Auntie. Yeah, it was just some haze and
Okay.
wows and things.
Yeah, I just be wanting to check momentarily because then you check like, oh, girl, they said this. That was 12 conversations ago. Right? Want to get us in the groove of keeping them in with us. I see y'all. Hey, y'all. Talk to us. So, yes, no, Stephany, yo go. What you doing for her story?
Oh, goodness, her story. I think it's kind of challenging for me to explain, I guess, because I just going through life and just facing different obstacles. I've always had this thought, even from a kid, that my life was meant to be something bigger than what I imagined. And I remember people telling me, well, what is it? And I'm like, I don't know. They're like, what do you mean you don't know? So if you don't know, then it's not real. I said, just because I don't know, don't mean it's not real.
Mm-hmm.
I can't tell you right now. I don't know what it is. And so I've always stuck with that. I've always known that my life is going to be bigger than what I imagined. And it's not condensed to this small, tiny country life. Like, that's not what it is. And in the process of going through life, I've faced difficult obstacles, which Ciara often tells me, I'm surprised you're not crazy. Throughout the things you've gone through. I'd be like, really? That ain't,
this not normal. People don't do this.
Right. Or if something crazy, a story I've said, and they be like, well, there's red flags. I'm like, them red flags?
Oh, that's what you were saying.
Those is red flags. I didn't know that. Oh my God. Oh, let me I better write that down. I didn't think.
The next time, red flag. That sounds crazy.
It sounded fun to me. It didn't sound red.
Right. I know, because Google says everything. So I guess when you're going through things in life, I didn't really know per se that I was going through trauma, because I was so focused on what my goals are in life, and my goals is to be successful. What success is to everybody else is different. And for me, I could never explain it. And even still to this day, I don't know if I could explain it to you. I just know that where I am right now it's a part of the success. It's the beginning of the success.
It's
but
one
it's
of the
not,
markers, as Cicely was saying.
right.
Victory check.
Yes, and I got a really big marker yesterday. So I actually have a mentor who's a judge. I have a judge who's a mentor, considering I'm in law school. So yeah, I'm sorry if I didn't explain it in detail, but making history. I'm not
making it. You living it.
Yeah, right. I'm too busy living it. I'm not even documenting it. And I mean, I write my journal because you have to write your thoughts down, and later on I'll put out a book and stuff. But I'm so busy living this, my story, her story. I'm so busy living it that I can't stop and tell you that this is what I've done until you ask me something. And I've had people who will come to me later on and say, you really inspire me. And I'm like, who, me? Me? You want me to? What I do, girl? Because I told you to fight.
You shut up. That's why you explained it. Fight, the good fight.
Look, and then don't forget the part of, but here's some money that we can go take care of.
Right, girl, let's go get you some money, girl. Let's go get you some money. So I don't even pay attention to the things that I'm doing, because I also do things for other people out of the kindness of my heart. I don't look at it or do something for somebody because I need something back, or I'm looking for you later on down the road because you're going to pay me back. That's not how I was raised or how I was taught. If I do something for you, then it's out the kindness of my heart, not because I'm looking for something in return. It doesn't really matter. So for me, I'm still going to be fine. That was my thing. I'm always going to have my money. I'm always going to get my money. I don't
That
care.
was extras. Yeah.
That's just extras. So later on down the road, when it does come back that I've helped somebody, I feel good about that, because that's payment in itself. That's enough payment for me, that you've taken something that I've done, good, bad, or wrong. You can learn from the wrong, the ugly that I've done. You've learned from that, and you didn't do it, or you didn't follow through with it, and everything was fine. That makes me feel good. Like I'm happy with that. I'm glad I was able to help somebody, but I can't tell you with the her story, because I'm living it. You could just follow along as best you can. Put your seatbelt on. You don't need it.
It's bumpy ride.
Mama Val says, Stephany, learn how to unpack your life and put them in compartments and deal with each to help you walk on your destiny.
I will do that. I will do that.
Yeah. So when I talk about documenting, I think I document the emotional portions of it. It's not let me tally it up. That's not it. I document the emotions of what I felt when I was going through this thing. Because like you said, you write it in your journal, but I realized that's my way of communicating. Let me communicate with the feeling that came with it. So a lot of times I can put the name into the emotion that you like, oh, that's what that was. Like you said, that's a red flag. I can put the name to it, because when I'm going through these processes and learning these lessons, I'm like, I felt drained, or I felt like, so it may not be the same feeling you get, but if you happen to be on this level, I'm gonna tell you, hey, fatigue gonna kick in. It might kick in here. Take some water with you. Take a little, so I operate an emotion on the emotional capacity of it and how it felt, because I'm not a fan of suppressing my emotions because I'm strong, right? I'm strong because I can verbalize the emotions that's happening to it, because I'm like, hey, well, what do you do when you feel like this? Somebody help me. What y'all don't feel like, y'all never felt this feeling? Because if you did, I need to know what you did to get out of it. It may not be exactly what I need to do, but it can give me an example, like a foundational level, and I can grow it from there. But help me, because I don't like the way this felt. Or listen, this was the best feeling of my life. So let me tell you what you did when you hit here, it's gonna hit like this, and you go, this is what happiness feels like. This is what joy feels like, you know. So I document the emotional capacity of it, right? Because I want you to be able to connect. That's how we connect. That's a human experience. And although many people are not taught to operate out of emotions or even verbalize their emotions, it's how I connect. And it's like, yeah, how you verbalize everything I was just feeling? I'm like, bro, it's a superpower, right? Because I felt it, and then I have the education enough to say, hey, that's what that is. That's being eager, right? That's not, not just, oh, happy, sad. No, that's what it feels to be eager, to be anxious, a good anxiousness. That's when people say, oh, them butterflies in my stomach, like, oh, you remember old school say he made my liver quiver. What? What that feel like? I want my liver to quiver. Wait, what he do?
Me, I'm like, that sound like I need to go to the doctor.
Right? So I want to know what these things are. Oh, so you meant you liked him and he made your rationale a little shaky, right? For a couple of seconds, he threw your rationale off because it was everything about that person, right? So it's to be able to operate in that space. That's why I document my journey, to talk about the emotional growth that I'm doing, because that's what I'm tracking. I'm an emotional being.
You know what? Now that you say that, and then based on what Mama Val said, I think that for me, it's not that I think I just don't want to. Not that I don't want to unpack, but the connecting of the emotions because I am water and I am an empath, so I don't want to connect with nobody else in their emotions. I'm gonna go feel all your stuff.
But we want you to connect with your emotions. We're not the other people.
Right. But see, that's the thing. I'm fine with connecting with my own emotions because it took a while for me to get there, but I've had to learn how to control my own emotions. And I have, a tsunami, and you asked for a glass of water, and here I come with the whole ocean. My bad. So
I didn't mean to drown you.
That's not what I'm trying to do. I think it's just with me being so private as a private person. I'm just a very closed in that shell. There's that shell. I'm just a very private person. And so when somebody asks me about something in my life, the unpacking will come, and I'm like, oh snap, I can't believe that I did that. Like that really was a red flag, girl. Let's get a book. I need to go to therapy or something because.
But it's not always just the red flags either, though. But it's also the accomplishments that came out of them. I find that I say a lot of times to people that you need to be the person that's going to toot your own horn. So if we're talking about women making history, how many women, if you ask them, how are you making history? So ladies that are on Facebook Live with us now, that's a question to you all. How are you all making history in your lives right now? Because a lot of times people are not comfortable with speaking recognition about themselves because they would rather somebody else be the person who compliments them or say how well that they're doing something as opposed to tooting their own horn. But as I tell my staff or my clients or whoever I'm interacting with, or just even, my friends, if you're not tooting your own horn, how are people going to know what you're doing? Like, you have to be able to be okay with saying, so let me tell you what I'm doing now. Let me tell you what I'm working on. Because if not, how is anybody going to know that you out here doing these amazing things? Like when I wrote a book back in my 20s, and I'm at home, I'm writing it every day, but I'm telling people, I'm writing a book. They're like, really? What? I want to write a book. Yeah, but I'm writing a book. Not I want to write a book.
I'm doing.
I'm writing a book. And then when I put my book out, I was like, boom, I got a book. And, there's a lot of people that I've met since then that, man, I've always wanted to write a book. Okay, what's happening? Nobody but you. So, but we have to say our accomplishments because I'm one of the few people in this world that has written a book. And I'll tell you all day, you know, I'm an author. I write books. That's what I do.
Published author.
Why? Because I want you to know I'm making history up in my life. And I'm speaking from a place of being proud of myself. And we should, you know, want to be proud of the things that we're doing, not just saying, oh, look at these women out here that are doing A, B, and C, especially people that we may not even know. Great, they're great to admire, but what are you doing that says that you're making history in this space that you're in? We're here for a purpose. Make a mark on this earth, however you make it.
Yeah, but I get that a lot. So a lot of people want other people to see something good in them instead of showing like, so, and it works in so many different areas, right? So like me, I put on a bikini in a minute. I know my belly is the belly. I ate the tacos and the donuts to get it there, right? They were good going down. But I told myself I was fine in this, so I didn't care what you thought, right? And it's the same way, like you said, in business. If you know you're doing something dope, if you putting your time and effort to it and you took time and consistency in it, it's something to be mentioned. And you can't always wait on somebody else to recognize your greatness, because sometimes it's not greatness to other people. Exactly. They're too busy looking at their own stuff.
That right there.
You know, envying your stuff.
Yeah.
And on top of that, to add to what you're saying, you don't have to be on the Michelle Obama level to achieve history in your life. You don't have to be that big. You can do something as simple as writing an author. Everybody don't have to know that you're an author, but you know it, and the few people that do, you did something in your life. So I think a lot of people try to match their success on a grand scale, that it's like, if I'm not on that grand scale, then I'm not really that person. But you are that person. You may not be on that scale, on that level, but you are that person. So own it, be in it, and be in that feeling and experience it and move forward.
So Mama Val said, this is how she's making history in her life, by being a living example. Clearly, your daughter just shouted that out. Celebrating my victories one day at a time, and validation to myself.
See, my mama, same thing I just said, right? And we're not even in the same space to know this, but like, it's because it's a daily walk. Listen, if you think you dope, why do you care? I don't need you. When somebody else tell me I'm dope, I'm like, thank you. That was an extra. Thank you.
Right. That was a bonus, because I was already feeling myself. But now, oh snap. Okay, somebody else see me. Okay, you know, you see me.
Because I came out feeling myself. It was like when we're on any social media, I like people post because you was feeling yourself in that moment, even if I didn't like it. You thought you was doing it.
Man, if somebody posts a picture of themselves, even if I, like you said, even if I think it's crazy, I'm like, I love it, because you were proud of that moment. I'll be like, okay, shoot, I heard that. Love it.
Exactly.
All that. I mean, yesterday, I remember getting off the phone because I had a virtual meet with a federal judge, and it was really exclusive because it was only 5 of us, and I was one of the 5 students that was able to get in there. But I'm sitting here with all these kids, and this judge knows they family, like, oh, your daddy is this person, are you related to this person? I'm sitting there like, myself said, girl, I know. I said, okay, because I ain't got nobody. None of my cousins or my aunties or uncles, they're like, he don't know nobody. But my other self, because, you know, we got a few people that talk to us, right? She was like, girl, don't worry about it. You're supposed to be there. I said, okay, all of this happened in 3 seconds. 3 seconds. And so he actually calling us out by names, and he's like, what's your question? I came with the question. A few other people didn't come with questions. And he pointed me out specifically and said, Stephany, here's my phone number. I want you to call me when this is over. And because of your choice in what you're choosing to study your law in, if you don't call me, I'm going to be upset. Call them. And not only did we have us a nice conversation, but he's also chosen to be my mentor, gave me a few other contacts to further my career, knowing that I'm making different moves in different states. He's like, I want to keep up with you. I want to know everything. Keep me in the know. So for me, that was like a huge triumph. And I had to scream and jump for joy. And I'm like, I need to call somebody, because somebody needs to know what happened to me.
Because somebody needs to know, right?
Somebody needs to know. I need to tell somebody. Who could I tell? I just such a proud moment. I didn't do any work. I just sat in that experience in that moment because it was a marker. That was a marker for me. I got a federal judge who is my mentor now. And I just sat in that experience, went to bed, great, woke up like, hey, y'all, I'm ready to tackle the world today. Mm-hmm. So just that moment, that little moment right there was such a proud moment for me that I'm still in shock. Like, I'm in awe. That was the feeling, in awe. Mm-hmm. So now I got another challenge because I'm going to move further with that advice that he gives me. So every week you get a phone call because I got a question. I don't know what it is, but we're going to figure it out.
Mama Val said, congratulations.
Thank you. Thank you.
Definitely. Look, wait. It's something I could put. Look. Look at that. Gotta get you out there.
Yes, thank you.
Yes, that is that's a part of your history.
Yes.
Acquiring support. Yes. Unwavering support is, listen, we see how far it can take us. Because mm-hmm. when you had a support, you will jump. Without question. You jump. So I think it's a major thing, just owning your stuff, right? Even if it's trauma driven, right? It's still your stuff and
part of your journey.
Yeah, and somebody else, like, you went through it for somebody else. So if you harboring it and nobody knows, how do I know that you my person? How do I know that you were supposed to be the example? I'm in your space for what? Because it may be. No, go ahead.
I just want to say real quick, Auntie Beverly said, congratulations too. Shout out, Stephany.
Thank you.
Well, thank you. But yeah. But so yeah, with owning your stuff, it's just like, own it. It's yours. Process it, do what you got to do, but celebrate yourself in every aspect. That's how you make history every day, is to celebrate yourself. How you going to show up every day?
Man, every day I tell myself how proud I am. And first off, in the beginning of the day, I tell myself, I'm like, I'm so proud of you. Look at you. You woke up this morning, you got up and you wanted to stay in the bed and you did yoga anyway. Look at you. You made your breakfast and your lunch. Look, I'm so proud of you. Look at you. You didn't got in the shower, got dressed, did your hair all day. Like, I'm just, and these are things that, what are not accomplishments that you would think are important, right? Then I'm like, oh, I sat down, I made it to work on time. Shoot, I don't never be late. I look at you, check you out. Then at the end of the day, I'm like, oh, I made it through those people. Yes, I got all my work done. Mm-hmm. Yeah, look at you. I'm so proud of you. And then whatever I did between off work and going and about to lay down and go to sleep, I'm in my mind, I'm like, you know what? I'm so proud of you today. You drank all that water. Look at you. Look, and then you had those plants and, oh, you know what? But today you had Wendy's and I'm so proud of you because you ate all your food up. And then, so it's like, I really speak life into every single thing that I'm doing because I am proud of myself because I did do something that day. Because we spend too many times saying that we don't like our choices, or why did I do that, or retracting, I did it, but I shouldn't have done it. No, I'm proud of everything I did in that day. Oh, you know what? They deserve being cussed out, but I bet you they won't do that one again. I'm so proud of you, girl.
They did it first.
They did it. You know what? Bye. They did it first.
Because I really will take a lot before I let people have it at this moment in time. I will stay quiet for a while, and then when it's time, clearly you all wanted me to speak. But yeah, I just like to speak life into everything that I did. Oh, I'm so proud of you. You ironed your clothes today. Because when you're a little kid, don't your parents tell you that? Oh my God, you washed the dishes. Oh my God,
I'm always clapping for myself with that one, okay? Because I hate washing dishes. I did it before I got on this call. I can't look, Mama didn't. I was on the phone with her. Like, I'm so proud of myself watching these dishes. I can't.
So why is it that it ends when you get older of somebody cheering for every step that you take? Why? Why does it end?
Also, I want to add to that when you do pat yourself on the back and you do say how proud you are of yourself, you are not bragging with the intent to harm. You are not bragging with the intent to harm. And please don't let somebody else tell you otherwise.
I ain't responsible how you take me talking about myself. That's not my responsibility. I don't care.
You know,
I am not responsible.
I'm bragging because I'm bragging.
You think how I talk about myself. Say that one like 5 times. I am not responsible for how you take how I speak about myself. Oh, I love it.
Because one of the things that you mentioned, like, I'm proud of myself for getting up and showering, because I speak to depressed people all day, and that is a task. People don't do that. Like, people are struggling to do these basic things, like get up and self-hygiene and wash dishes and cook. People struggling to do these things. They're not in good spaces. So yes, it is a celebration that I was able to do these things. Because some mornings when you get up and you don't want to, it really is hard to get up and do some things when you mentally not there. Like, I literally had to choose every day. And I told my mama that. I said, you know what? I don't want to do this work begrudgingly. So before I get on this computer, I start dancing. Let me bring me some joy into my life so I can come to this computer in a good space, at least at my regular baseline. You know, so I have to do things to raise my energy, because I'm sick. Listen, y'all, even I see y'all on this screen every Saturday. I'm so sick of this screen. I'm tired of looking at the computer. I want the real world to open back up where I can talk to real people in their real face. I'm sick of it. Yeah. So the task of getting up and showing up, these are things that I'm celebrating it, because listen, it was a struggle mentally, like warfare. Girl, get up. You so lazy. Why you want to do that? But you know you need to do, like she said, all them people in there talking. And then I still had to get up like, okay, listen. I mean, at least
look here, y'all. Look here, y'all. We gonna get up and we gonna get this done.
No. Yes.
Yeah,
so
I remember someone had. I'm sorry. Go ahead, Cicely.
No, go ahead.
No, just thinking about. I remember at one point in time in my life, somebody had called me money hungry, and I was like, thank you. You know, because at one point, whenever time you met me, let's go get some money, because that's all we finna do. We finna get us some money. It's gonna make you feel better. It don't matter what nobody else say. When people say money can't buy you happiness, girl, let's prove that theory. So people will call me that, and I'm like, thank you. In a form of being mean or to make me feel bad, but it didn't. It just empowered me to I'm in the right direction. You right?
I'll get some more money.
Right, you was absolutely correct. I don't know why I didn't think of that before. Let me 2 + 2 is 4,000. You right? Okay.
So I'm gonna jump in with the comments. So we have a big shout out to all 3 of you, Ciara, Cicely, and Stephany. Yes, encourage yourself. Yes, speak life into existence. And I talk and uplift myself sun up to sundown. That's Auntie Beverly. She's Sunday, and then you start that process the next day. And then you start that process the next day.
Yes.
Yeah, you gotta talk to yourself like you want to talk to yourself. Like in the mirror, sometimes I be like, girl, you did that. Myself be like, girl, I know I did, girl. You gotta acknowledge yourself. You gotta acknowledge that. I be like, girl, I did, didn't I? She be like, girl, you did, girl.
Let me tell you something even funnier though. Right before we got on this call, I was doing something and I was getting ready to fall, and literally I was like, put your leg down, stupid. Literally. And I just had to laugh at myself. So yes,
so when you say that, it made me think about something the other day. So I have not in this particular chair I'm sitting in with this particular office space, but in my other office space, I have a yoga ball for my chair. And so I was trying to reach and get something. So I'm like kind of like hanging off the yoga ball, but trying to balance myself. And I heard in my mind, now does that shit make any sense what you're doing right now? Because if you fall and bust your head. And I was like, okay, mama, why you gotta talk to me like that? Okay, let me stop doing what I'm doing and get up and get whatever it is, because
yes, that self-talk is critical. Like, and that's like, because I was like, that's what I would say to somebody else, like, catch yourself. What are you doing? Like,
be real with yourself. Just being real with yourself. You being honest with you. And then on top of that, when you're honest with yourself, it's going to come out that way when you speak with others. Absolutely. And they're going to be appreciative, or either going to be taken aback by it. But either way it goes, it's going to be respected because it's real. You being honest.
Let me tell you, people going to laugh because y'all laugh at me all the time because I say the stuff y'all be thinking, right? Because like, y'all didn't think, y'all thought that. That's why you thought it was funny, right? So say it, because somebody, 9 times out of 10, somebody was thinking it, and it just it sets a comfortable atmosphere too. It sets an authenticity of an atmosphere to say that it's safe to be yourself here. You don't have to be nobody else. You don't have to be who you thought I wanted you to be in this moment, but be you, because that's all I got to give you. I can't, y'all. Literally, when I talk to people, I'm like, whatever your idea of a highly educated person is, scratch that. Right? I'm highly educated with a vocabulary of a trap queen. Right? You're gonna get this work. Highly educated, right? So it's just like every time you come in and you be your authentic self, you give everybody else around you the opportunity, the freedom to do the same thing. And if they don't take that freedom, that's not your space. It's just like, oh, okay.
Or your responsibility to worry about how they feel on it.
Trying to tell you that must, I be thinking that must be heavy, because listen, it's heavy trying to be something you're not. Been there, done there, bought a few t-shirts, and I got souvenirs. I don't want to go back, you know? So it's just like, when you being yourself, that's another way of creating your history, your her story. Your herstory, is that they say. But like, yes, like, it's being your authentic self, because guess what? In a room full of everybody else, there's only one you. And if you trying to be what everybody else is, who gonna be you? So as you continue to grow in your whatever levels you're growing in, your spiritual growth, your financial growth, be authentic to yourself, because the work of pretending will take up more time and space than, now you got to work backwards all the time. It's always, I got to cover my tracks. I got to listen. If you authentically you in the very beginning, things will go smooth sailing for you, because you don't have to go back and rewrite. We got to rewrite if I started right the first time.
Right. And don't worry about who watches you, because everybody gonna watch you whether you win or whether you fall. It don't really matter. Continue to be authentic with you. It does not matter what other people say or think. They're gonna continue to say and think, and as long as they do it over there and whatever, is it gonna bring you some money? Think of it that way. It's gonna bring you some money. It's gonna pay your bills.
Always go back to money. Did it make you money?
Oh, I know that's so cliche. I know it's so funny, but a lot of the times that kept me going through some things. Is it gonna pay my bills? No. For all the stuff that they talking, is any of that gonna pay my light bill? No, it's not. Is any of that gonna pay my car note? It's not.
You know, okay, me, so with the 3 F's. If he ain't, or if this person is not effing you, feeding you, or financing you, why do you? Before you give your opinion, I want you to see if you in any of those 3 categories in my life. Because if you're not,
no, thank you. You're not interested.
No, thank you. Respectfully. Fuck out of here. Right. Because that's what you say now, right?
We have about a little more than 10 minutes, but so I want to say some things that we have going on. So thank you all, ladies, for giving us some insight onto what making history in your journey looks like, and how you can support that. And of course, we're going to have our other tips and tricks, and we might be able to get some in. But real quick, I wanted to just let the audience know that on the upcoming events that we have, and we'll do them in order. So next Saturday is Meditation Saturday, so it's our second Saturday self-care. But we have an event on making it up already. March the 27th. It's still going to be our same time that we have now, but it's going to be our Live You open house. And we will have, of course, us 3 will be there, and we should have some of our board members, if not all of our board members, joining. And there will be just talking about more detail about Live You, like the organization, the people that are a part of the organization. So learning more about the people that are actually a part of the organization, because we don't really talk about ourselves specifically. We may give stories and examples of things pertaining to the topic, but we don't really say who we are and why we're here and what are we doing. And we're also selling raffle tickets for people who are interested or sharing it with other people, we are giving away 4 gift cards. One is a $75 Amazon gift card. One is a $50 Walmart gift card, a $50 Target gift card, a $25 Amazon gift card. And then last but not least, one of our board members, she has She Matters. It is a self-care subscription box, and she is going to be donating one of those self-care subscription boxes to people. And so I've linked the page that you can go to buy your
Raffle ticket.
tickets, your raffle tickets. So, please, this goes towards helping us support women who struggle with prioritizing themselves first, providing them with coaching, accountability, helping them design a program so that they can be able to move from point A to point B and whatever they choose to in their spiritual, physical, or mental wellness choice. And then always, we have our different social medias that people can, of course, follow us on. We are posting that information everywhere. So I just want to make sure we got that in, because then it won't be like 12:05 and let's
Definitely. But also donate to us too. You can buy raffle tickets, but if you feel led by the spirit to donate as well, we definitely take donations.
And through that site, we take donations through that raffle site. So even if you don't want to buy raffle tickets, it will allow you to choose. Well, first you have to go through it.
Do both. How about that? Just do both.
Yeah, do both.
Buy the ticket and do both. Do all of the above.
Right. Give all of it. Because hey, if you buy a raffle ticket and win, you win something as well. And even if you don't want to keep it, you can, put it in a nice box or give it to somebody else. So the ticket,
the gift that keeps giving.
Right. The gift cards will be emailed to people. So it's important to provide your email. So those are the things.
Because if you win an Amazon card, you can gift it to me. I won't be mad. Won't be mad.
And there's nothing you can't buy on any of those platforms that, like Amazon, Walmart, Target. You can pretty much buy anything. Now, Starbucks, you can only, buy some food or some coffee, but so many people are coffee drinkers or tea drinkers. So
everybody likes Starbucks for some reason.
Everybody loves Starbucks. So we can leave that one out. That's a biggie for people. And then also thank you for the people who have already contributed. I really appreciate that a lot. So thank you for those who have already contributed to our cause, and either through donation or through this current raffle. So we're really excited about this end of the month event during Women's History Month, because we are women supporting women. So why not make sure that we are celebrating ourselves during this time as well?
Absolutely. Yes.
Speaking of her story, I just came to me. I know it just came to me. I actually have my story that is already being filmed and being presented by another nonprofit.
Talk about that, girl. Talk about, see?
Look, let me get my celebration.
Thank you. Okay. So Optimus International, yes, they have filmed a part of my story and how I got to this particular place in my life. And they are selling tickets because they are a nonprofit as well, and it will be done tomorrow. So they are
put the link in there.
Yeah, I'm gonna find the link, put the link in there for you guys. But yes,
that's on Facebook, because this is going to be posted to YouTube. So just letting you know, it's when we talk about the link is in there, the link is on our Facebook account, which is LIV You Facebook page.
Yes. So they are another nonprofit. They support women supporting women on an international scale. So this is just the Phoenix chapter. They have a bunch of different chapters in different countries and other states. So they have decided they want to know my story. And so I told them pieces of it and how I got here, and it had to be kind of quick, but quick little snippet, and it's right in the beginning of the short films that they have. But yes, that's another story of mine, another way of I'm making history.
Yes.
Which also their members happen to be, a lot of them are a lot of judges and attorneys. So
in there like somewhere. Yes.
Yes, I'm in there.
Excuse me. Yes. Well, that is amazing, and we celebrate you as always.
Thank you.
I just want to say thank everybody, because we got 5 minutes before we have to leave. So yes, thank everybody. Support. Click the links in our bio. Don't forget, you can get your 15-minute free consultation.
Yes. Please say that one all the time.
Yes. So you can click the link and find that information as well. Also, you can take the wellness assessment, so you can see where you are too. See if you like, I know I need help, but I just don't know what kind of help I need. You can take that to help you kind of fine tune your process of what you need when you want to get coaching in. So yes, please just check out, read the blogs. New blogs come out every Sunday. You see them. Don't act like you don't. Read them. They're edifying to the spirit.
And they're very it's stuff to inspire you. So because that's what we're here to do. We're here to give you tips, tricks, and well, maybe not tricks, but tips, tricks, and
like a little trick, got a little feel on my sleeve.
And to inspire you. That's love, inspire, value you. And we're definitely here to continue inspiring people along their history making journey. And like we said earlier, it may not be a big deal to everybody in the world, but it should be a big deal to you. And so let's talk about making history for yourself, not necessarily for anybody else. It's for you.
Yeah, it could be breaking generational curses, because then nobody
else
all
day long. That's important. All day.
All day long.
And follow us on our Instagram pages as well, at Love Inspire Value. You can also follow us individually or collectively. Stephany, Live You, Ciara. What's your Instagram name? I forgot it. There you go, Ciara Live You. And just click them. Make sure you follow us on Instagram as well, because we do post over there too. So I know we have an audience there. But don't be afraid to talk to us through there. You can always jump in the inbox with topics that you guys want to hear. If there's something specific that you want to know about that we haven't discussed, let us know. Interact with us, because we're going to continue to show up here every Saturday, showing up with something. So show up with us.
And a question I have, and we haven't actually discussed this ourselves, so this is like straight up off the cuff right now. Would people be Would people be interested in during some of this time having a live coaching session with us? And would that be something that you all would be interested in? So let us know that, and that's something that maybe we all could talk about.
Let us in your business on live.
We could talk about offline and see, maybe once a month we'll open it up, or whatever. We can discuss that. But if people are willing to talk about their business, we may be willing to provide some very direct to your personal situation coaching.
Absolutely. So
yes,
thank you guys for watching. We love you. And send my cootie free kisses. Y'all know y'all love them. Love them.
You take them.
No, you be mad when I don't give. I be forgetting sometimes. My bad. Let me give you a little extra this week. So thank you guys. And somebody gonna say namaste, and I'm gonna say out of Cicely way. So thank you. Say out our way. No.
Yes, namaste. And thank you all for participating and joining with us.
And having fun.
Always.
But we do. And we gotta laugh.